And yesterday we heard that Cork City Council had told their staff who deal with members of the public they must undergo a one-day self-defence course. It came after a spate of complaints about threats and intimidation suffered by public sector workers in areas such as traffic management, sanitation and street cleaning. Now, to get a flavour of what they're in for, we sent our own Niamh Hassel, or Niamh No Hassel as she's now going to be called, to a self-defence class, and she joins me now. Niamh, how's it going?
Not too bad.
How did you
take
get
you
on?
down for that.
Yeah. How did you get on?
Yeah, no, it was a really interesting day actually, because I suppose as a woman, I've never actually done a self-defence course, and it's something that I never really thought of before. But I went along to a Krav Maga instructor, Patrick Cumiskey. He has a centre in Portobello. There's weekend courses in Galway, Cork and Limerick as well, and you can find them on KravMagaIreland.com. Now, he's a trained psychotherapist and he studied anger management as well as being the self-defence instructor. And before I had a class with him, he told me all about the reasons that you might need to go to self-defence classes, and be it for work or personal reasons.
There is no reasoning with an angry person. Physiologically, if I'm, enraged, I can't think. So what you actually have to try and do is to try and calm things. Don't argue the point. If possible, you create distance. You create a space where that the person can give an opportunity to calm down. You watch for trigger events. Never threaten anyone who's angry. If you threaten anyone angry, if you think about it, all that actually that's going to do is it's like oil on a fire.
So if I was a traffic warden per se, and someone came up to me and said, "Why the hell are you giving me a ticket? This is absolutely insane," and they get really, really overwrought, they get really angry. Yeah. So what do you do if they
if I was a traffic warden that was doing that to me, I was explaining to him, so for example, that there is a process if he feels he's wronged for dealing with this, which there is.
And then he gets even more angry, saying screw your process.
Well, the number one thing at that point to do is to leave the situation. Threatening somebody or threatening to harm somebody is assault. Just because you're wearing a uniform, that does not allow anyone to threaten you or make you. You're an individual and you have a right to be safe. Anyone threatening your harm is committing assault. I heard someone say, "Oh, they're going for the uniform." The uniform doesn't get hurt. It's the person wearing the uniform who gets hurt.
Okay, so the message there is somebody's anger elevates. Fighting with them is not going to do anything but inflame the situation. So do you retreat at that point? Is that
Well, you have to get away. You have to enable yourself to get away. And sometimes a person in that situation, when they're that angry, they're not going to want you to let you get away. Or if someone comes up and attacks you on the street, they're obviously wanting to keep you in that scenario. So a lot of the training, it comes down to knowing when to get away in a heightened situation. And this is where the whole self-defence class actually comes in. These guys, they're not training you to fight essentially, but what they are giving you are the skills to get out of a tricky situation. So Patrick spoke to me about the scenarios that you could unexpectedly get into, and one such example is if you're on the street and someone was to approach you, and if they kind of encroach into your personal space. Now, this is essentially a threat, and once you instinctively feel like you're in danger, you still want to get out of it.
Space is very important. If anyone's ever been out, will notice that if someone's trying to intimidate or assess you, that they'll often abuse space to see what you're going to do.
You're right in my face there. So that is really
I'm showing
intimidating.
you what people do, yeah. So what do you do in a situation like that? Because if you just stand there and let someone be in your face like so, it's scary for you. But also, if you're not doing anything about it, the bad guy knows, maybe you're going to be a good victim for him. So
I kind of feel like I wanted to retreat into myself, and I wanted to run away, but if you're kind of encapsulating where I am in my space, I actually don't know where I can go.
Exactly. Running away is obviously the best option.
Okay, so how do you get out of it?
Okay, so there was another instructor there called Jörg. Now, Jörg was 6'3" tall, and by the look of him, I just thought there was no way that I was going to be able to fight this person off. I was, because I'm like 5'4" and my stature is quite small, so someone comes up in your space like that, they have your hands on you, you just kind of think, how the hell am I going to get out of this? So, Patrick and Jörg, they taught me a couple of basic skills on how to take fight to take flight.
Jörg is going to approach you now, okay? And he's walking right. You're going to step. What you're going to do is just do with me. You're going to step back, and we'll do what's called blade our body. So we go side on.
Side on.
Yeah, and as we step back, we bring our hands up.
Okay.
Yeah, bring our hands up, and we can actually just say, "Please stop. Leave me alone." Okay?
Do I scream at this point?
You can. It depends where it is actually. This could be someone just asking you for directions.
Okay,
and oftentimes bad guys will start out pretending to be nice, use distraction strategies. Never ever let manners stop you being safe. So what you're going to do is you're going to step back, and you're going to put your hands up. Okay, that's very good. Very, very
Yeah.
good. Now, that might look like that's not much use, okay? But now what? Now the difference, if I try to grab you, say Jorg tries, if I'm here, I say Jorg tries to grab me now, like my hand goes to his, I can now move to
So
defend
you just put your thumbs right in his eyes.
Yeah, but he's a bad guy. He went to grab me, so my hands
So
are,
if he goes to grab you, then that's the
my hands
indication
are up.
of going.
Absolutely.
And you just jam your thumbs.
In this
right
scenario,
in there.
now I'm not telling you, but this is in this situation. This is a girl
Yeah.
walking down the street, and someone should approach her, has her hands up, says, "Please leave me alone." And then this person grabs this person. We know terrible things happen from this moment. If someone grabs you, someone tries to hold you, your job is to get away. We've trained women who've got away from attempted rape, for example, and using this type of strategy.
Okay, sounds effective. You were practicing some of these out on me at about 5 o'clock this morning in the newsroom.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were pretty effective.
That was just one of the moves that they showed me, and they showed me another couple where if someone essentially puts their hands on your throat, you can swipe your left hand to their left arm, you swipe it away really quickly, but simultaneously you get your palm and you shove it up into their face, so you push their face back, and a swift kick to or a knee to the groin will kind of help you get out of there even faster. So, I mean, there are ways, and it is really actually empowering. It's not about beating somebody up. It's about getting out of that situation. And like myself, my own personal experience, I had been mugged before quite violently just a couple of months ago. And it was because I wasn't aware of what was going on in my own personal space. Now, obviously, they were the people that came up to me and I had no power over that. But if I had those skills to employ into that situation, I probably could have gotten out of the scenario.
You think you would have been better equipped to deal with that situation?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is something that I think that self-defense, it's not just about learning how to fight. I just think it's about empowerment for yourself and being aware of your surroundings, as well as knowing when somebody is going to come into your space and possibly attack you.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I love that line, never let manners stop you being safe. Okay, that's Niamh No Hassle there reporting. Okay, we'll be back with sport in a moment.